I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Got an email here from a viewer. He says, "Hi Corey, I've watched all your videos and I'm really inspired by your mindset. I know what you say is right, but then putting it into practice is so hard. But I try, but fail as I wear my heart on my sleeve." Well, wearing your heart on your sleeve is a bad way to go. Why? Because you're acting like an emotional woman. And feminine women want a masculine guy, not a dude who's unsure of himself or who acts like a woman. Feminine energy is about opening up and receiving love. Masculine energy is about purpose, drive, mission, succeeding, accomplishing, breaking through barriers, those kinds of things. He says, anyhow, my question is, my ex, who is the mother of my child, we split up 2 years ago, and I managed to get her back 8 months ago. She had gone back to her ex at that stage, which was her comfort blanket, and I was not happy with it, so I told her how I really felt. You probably sounded like a needy, insecure jackass with her. He says, it took me 3 months to win her around, but we gave it another go. I was happy, but after 3 months it was over. Not because of any row or frustrations, I guess. He says, now we went away to Spain as a family, but before we went, she made a statement. Things will be different when we return. It's probably not a good thing to hear. He says, I thought this was weird, but I ignored it. He says, however, when a woman says something like that, I'll say, well, what do you mean, honey? What are you trying to say? It's always best to answer a question with a question or a statement that you'll understand with, what do you mean? Tell me more. I don't understand. Leave anything out. I don't understand where you're coming from. So he says, however, when we returned, she went back to her ex, who I now feel she always wanted to be with. Well, the reason she went back to her ex is because her ex acted more like a man than you did. And women are always going to choose whoever the most dominant man is. He says she denies this and says, we tried again, but it didn't work, and it's time for me to move on. But I can't. Yes, you can, but you're just choosing not to. He says, we have a son together, so I can't do the no contact. Well, the only thing you should interact with her when it comes to your son is just make sure you have your plans set in order so you're not having to call each other all hours of the day and night. Set your plans, like when you're supposed to pick him up and you're supposed to take him. Make definite plans for that, and the rest of the time you don't need to be talking to her. He says, when I talk to her, I break down. Like, again, you're acting like a woman. He says, this guy thinks he has a ready-made family, but it didn't work twice before, but now he gets a third try and I don't. Well, it's obvious he proved himself to be more worthy by acting more of like a man, and you acted like a woman. So what do you expect? He says, I just want to know what to do. We are getting to the point of hatred, and that is so not me or her. I hate her for the lies, and I think she is told the fact, and that she's not letting me bring the family unit back. Dude, don't try to keep somebody who doesn't want to keep you. I can tell you're pursuing. This is what most guys do when they get dumped unexpectedly, is that pursuing doesn't work. And that's why she keeps dumping you and putting you in friend zone, because you keep acting like a woman. He says, I ask her if she loves me, and she does not answer. That's totally weak, dude. Men who get women would never say that. If she was in love, you could see it in her face. And if she's not in love, then it just means that there's more that you need to do as a man to get her interest to go up. But instead, you're acting like a woman, and that's why she has no respect for you, and that's why she doesn't want to be with you. He says, I ask her if she loves me, if she loves him, and she doesn't answer. He says, I say, are you happy for me not to be in your life forever? And she says, no, not forever, just for now. We have a son. If she goes and does that with this guy, there is no return. She is a passive-aggressive, as she knows what she is doing is wrong, but won't stop it. I dated a woman like that, dude, and this girl, I wrote about her in my book. She's fucking amazing. I love this girl. We had a great time together. But she was constantly fucking things up because she's emotionally fucked up. And she knows she was fucking up, and she admitted she was fucking up, but she would never do anything to fix it. That's what the passive-aggressive person does. They'll fuck things up, and they won't do anything to fix it. They'll just let it lie. He says the thing is this guy is the brother of her best friend who told her not to break his heart. So she breaks the heart of the father of her son to save upsetting her friend's views. No. The reason that she chose him over you is because you act weaker than he does. But obviously he does. It sounds like he understands a little bit more about women than you do, because that's why she keeps choosing and going back to him. Like I said earlier, women are always going to be more attracted to whoever the most dominant male is. He says, I want to move on and do have attention from another girl, but it's unfair on her, really. I like the company, but my head is with my ex and the mother of my son. You will say move on, but there is a bond there, and we'll have to see her for the rest of my life for at least 16 plus years. She talks to me on the phone and does reply to messages sometimes. So it's like, again, you're just doing you're acting like a woman, dude. You got to cut that shit out, man. You're acting like a needy little weak bitch. You're not going to get anywhere with that behavior. He says, I find myself sending too many texts as it gets all crossed over between me and her and the feelings for me and my son. Will this guy just piss her off? He says, he's like a bad smell that sits there and waits while I do all the work. Yeah, that's why she's going to him. Women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. You're chasing and pursuing, and this other guy's doing nothing. And that, I say this all the time. I say it in my book. I say it in my work. That's why. Women will chase the guy that they can't figure out. The guy that's mysterious. Well, there's no mystery about you because you're acting like a woman. He says, I know I've pushed her away by begging, but it's just natural reaction. Well, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So when is now a good time to change your approach? Because it's obviously not working for you. Unless you enjoy making yourself miserable, then keep doing what you're doing. He says, is it too late? She got back with him after 2 days of being home from holidays with me. He says, it seems quick to me, and she's saying it's serious, but this is to wind me up because she knows it pushes my buttons. So, I mean, the bottom line is it sounds like, I mean, you think it just happened when you got back. It's obvious that she was planning this for a while. And the more you could tell that she was slipping away, the more you pursued, and all that did was justify her behavior of getting ready to blow you off and choosing the ex-boyfriend over you. So, like I said, when it comes to stuff to deal with your son, make definite plans so you don't have to talk to each other and text to each other and ask all kinds of questions of one another. And that way you don't have to do any kind of contact with her at all. But don't use your son, don't sit there and bullshit yourself and say, oh, well, I got to call because my son left his bottle over at my house and I got to drive it for 45 minutes across town to give her this $3 bottle because it's his favorite bottle. And that's the kind of shit you'd say to yourself and bullshit yourself to continue pursuing. But like I said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're not going to get anywhere except frustrated and pissed off and upset and hurt. So the best thing that you can do is back off. She's chosen this other guy over you. Only interact with her when you absolutely have to. And other than that, don't do any pursuing. Don't do any calling. Go get busy with other women. She's told you to move on, and that's what you need to do, because you're not going to get this girl back if you keep begging and pleading like a weak bitch. It's just not going to work, dude. I'm sorry. It's time to let your balls drop and be a man and start acting like a man. And if you do, women will start treating you properly. And so instead of being the guy that she blows off, the other dude will be the one that gets blown off. But you got to start dating other women, because this sounds like a toxic situation here. And this girl probably has no respect for you at this point, because you've broken up and gotten back together so many times, and she's like a ping pong ball. She's going back and forth between the two of you guys. And a guy who perceives himself as a catch is not going to sit around and tolerate this bullshit. He's going to say, hey, give me a call if you want to work it out. Great. Otherwise, I'll see you to pick up little Johnny on Friday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever it happens to be. And other than that, you don't need to be talking to her. Focus on yourself. Focus on taking care of yourself. Focus on your goals, your dreams, your ambition, your purpose in life. And practice the things that I teach in my books. So you can start meeting some other women and get some backup and get some options. Because once you have some options with other women and you start dating and sleeping with other women, you'll back off and you'll stop all this nonsense pursuing. That's what I would do if I were you. So if you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, is a box that has a link that'll take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device already, just download one of their free e-reader apps for whatever electronic device you want to read my book on. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters, the articles on my website, or my ebook, you can show your appreciation right now by going to my website, and on the Wibia toolbar at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.